When Fortnite revealed Buff Peter Griffin in the Battle Pass, it was a weird moment. In the animation, they explained his new look, but we all know it's because of the hitbox, and while I would have loved normal Peter, I was okay with it. Until last week. Family Guy Part 2 released with the giant chicken, and he's double the size. So now we're all asking, where is the true Peter Griffin skin? The second thing fans want updated are grind rails, and if you've been playing this season, you'll know a recent fix has made them dangerous. Most fans consider them a great addition to Chapter 4 because you can get around quick and hop off without any fuss, but that is not the case anymore. Try it at Snooty Steps and you'll be sent straight back to the lobby. Okay, so now cool off with Fortnite Festival and you'll realize Epic is selling nothing for 500 V-Bucks. Let me explain. The shop refresh giving us Doja Cat and Green Day as expected, but one thing wasn't right. There was an unknown track you could also find. All the images were messed up and it's just a blank spot in your locker. So if you were curious enough to buy it, congratulations on waiting for your refund. If there's one thing no one asked for, it's Fortnite's latest unvault. The business card is randomly dropped into Chapter 5 and it's just as annoying as you remember. Now in any fight, you can suddenly find yourself being third-partied by a briefcase with literal aimbot. Don't even get me started with Zero Build, these things are a nightmare to play against, which has been made even worse with Epic's latest nerf. Right as we're getting used to the new movement, they dropped another update changing the speed of tactical sprint. It is now 20% slower and takes longer to recharge, taking us back to the same raid as Chapter 4. And let me tell you, this has been causing players some serious problems. One thing we've been missing this season are rift encounters. They were first introduced in Chapter 4 and were honestly really fun, especially if you got lucky. On the new island, they're nowhere to be found. Leakers have discovered new unreleased ones, so who knows what happened to them. Let's just hope Epic's holding out for Season 2. Another thing needed next season is the shop timer, which has gone missing. Out of nowhere, we opened the shop one night only to see the countdown gone and replaced with a useless info button. Make sure it usually resets at the same time, but now an item on your wish list might vanish before you even know. I just really don't understand the point of this change. One thing a lot of people do want changed is the vaults. Lately, camping them has been more popular than ever, with players baiting the medallions, hiding in the corners, even waiting for you to open the door for them before blasting you with clingers. Well, it's only got worse when they added 2 items specifically for camping with the box and stealth EMPs, so now you can just sit there invisible. And if there's one thing Epic has confused us with this chapter, it's augments. This feature has mixed opinions, with some players loving the perks and others hating the randomness of it all. Well, they've been completely removed since the start of the season while Epic reevaluates them, but the worst part is leakers have found so many new ones. Some of these sound genuinely fun, and it's sad that they may never see the light of day. Speaking of never being seen again, let's talk about the illegal Fortnite map. The British Army Jobs account posted a tweet that took everyone by surprise when they dropped their own creative island. I mean, sure, it was just a standard parkour course with activities, but morally, this didn't sit right with the community, and they got ripped apart. Some even found it was in direct violation of Epic's terms, and both the map and tweet are now deleted. But there is one weapon that really has people talking, and that is snipers. This season has the best one we have ever seen, with almost no drop-off, moddable scopes, and an extended mag, which makes these things unstoppable. Thankfully, Epic has heard our cries and stepped in with some balance adjustments, but some say it's still not enough. Does the Reaper Sniper need even more nerfs? Let me know in the comments. Well, hey, at least we got some good mobility items though, right? Well, that's if you're one of the few players asking for the Crash Pad Jr. A lot of people have been talking smack about these things. The community hates these, feeling like Epic could have vaulted anything else, or at least the normal versions of them. They do have some good combos to make them kinda decent, but once again, too many fans are speaking up. There's also a lot of pressure on Epic for something that isn't getting enough attention. We left Chapter 4 with a very small event and just a time machine straight into the Big Bang to advertise all of the new modes. So what's the update with the story? There's no mention of what happened to the 7, the last reality never showed up, and the Oathbound completely vanished. Now we're stuck with Jones on a hunt for Peely and a fight between 2 factions. I don't know, it just feels like the story isn't the same without all of these staple characters. It's not all bad, sure some of these unvaulted items this season have been mediocre, but one was a little too powerful. When Fortnite dropped the lock-on pistol out of nowhere, people were not happy that they basically added aimbot back to the game. This type of weapon is pretty much only made for noobs, and if this thing locks onto you, good luck escaping. It already feels like so long ago, but something that disappointed players was Winterfest in Chapter 5. It's usually the most hyped event of the year, but this time around it left a lot of us feeling underwhelmed. From no new skins releasing, barely any decorations around the map, not to mention Sergeant Winter got downgraded to to a normal NPC who walked around in one spot. Perhaps the worst part though, there was no return of the cabin. Instead, you just had to claim your gifts through a 2D screen, and you couldn't even pick which one you wanted to open. To top it all off, every Christmas emote was added in the next update and are now releasing months late. Epic is also trolling players by secretly showing us the old movement in the game right now. Turns out that if you equip the Anvil launcher and run around, you get the OG animations back. It doesn't change your speed, but it's a sad reminder of how iconic it used to be. Sometimes there's things Fortnite won't change, even if it's about you. GRIFFIN's icon skin recently got a brand new LEGO style along with a bunch of other creators, and they tried to ask if they could update his face model to look somewhat like him. Pretty reasonable question, but Epic said no and refused to do it. It seems kind of fair since no one else gets to change their skin, but I guess you really gotta make sure it's the design you want. One thing that some players are still salty about is Epic's feud with Apple. The whole lawsuit caused Fortnite to be removed from iOS for over 3 years, and now they've officially lost the case and are being asked to pay them $73 million. Okay, so maybe it's looking likely they're gonna bring Travis Scott back to the store. One you won't be seeing show up is Harmony Lee. She was sitting in the files for months after being made by a concept artist in the community, but after a controversy sparked, Epic quietly canceled the release. She's been waiting behind the scenes ever since, until the final traces were deleted in the most recent update, removing the skin for good. Although Fortnite should sometimes be careful with their own designs too. The Flowberry Fizz left a lot of people raising their eyebrows over the animation, and that's not even the worst part. Previously, Epic came under some heat for having alcohol and cigarettes in game, but this is literally wine. The berries, the vineyard, a champagne bottle, I mean, come on guys. The season has also marked the end of supercars in Fortnite. Sure, we got a brand new Lamborghini with Ferraris and McLarens on the way, but these are just skins. In the past, we had a real Ferrari vehicle that was faster than any other car in the game and could basically fly across the map. Whoa! It's working! It's working! Look, Sammy, we're flying! Unfortunately, with Epic moving over to selling these in the shop, they have no gameplay advantage and are just models for existing cars now. And that's if you can even find them in the item shop. Lately, Epic has made several mistakes, breaking whole sections, removing items, and having School Trooper appear twice on the same day. The community hasn't been too happy with identical items over and over again, but now Fortnite is finally listening. They've started releasing new items, and the last few shops have actually been pretty varied, so good job, Epic. Although they have gone a little too overboard. Lately, we've been getting a new icon emote every single night, but there's one issue. Since they're all TikTok dances, most of the music is sped up or a high-pitch remix. So, if you've waited years to hear Domino or Dancing in the Moonlight, you're stuck with some meme version instead. Everyone is begging Epic to use the original song, so let's just hope they hear us. Another thing they're still working on is creative. Ever since UEFN launched, Discovery has been a mess of fake collabs, V-Buck scams, and maps filled with popular memes. Definitely not the future we all imagined. Yacht Zone Wars made $12,000. It's getting out of hand. The community has been more vocal than ever on the maps that blatantly break TOS. Thankfully, Epic acknowledged this with a statement and are continuing to improve their moderation system as time goes on. Speaking of time, after waiting 45 days for new content, Epic dropped a patch that gave us reskinned weapons. I will say the release of Snake was pretty cool, but the items are basically the cloaking gauntlets with an EMP effect and a cardboard box. I just wish we could get some original collab items. Love to get your guys' opinions in the comments. It's been Tommy, and keep it here on Top 5 Gaming.